Well, hello, welcome to Sherry's Farmhouse Kitchen. I have a special guest with me today. It's my mother, Irene Phillips, and if you have my book, you will know a lot about her already. But she's going to help me, or I'm going to help her. But we're going to team up together here, and we're going to work from her original cookbook, where I got the recipe for the sugar cookies that's in my book. But she's going to put an apron on me so that I look as festive as her, because it's Christmas, right? And cardinals are such a wonderful bird. They not only represent winter, but they also
really long,
represent.
This must have been for anybody. It'll fit. Is that tight enough?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, just a minute. I'll put a bow on it.
Anyway, the cardinal was said to represent someone that you love who's zooming by and checking in on you.
Well,
So,
shoot.
here we go.
I got it.
All right, so how's that look? Does that look good?
Oh, I like that.
You like that?
Yes,
okay.
I do. Oh, wait a minute. We need to flip
Yeah,
that.
get me fixed.
Okay.
Okay?
I think you look very festive now.
All right. And she is, as you can see, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so before we get started, I'm gonna, hold on, let me mark the page, because you know how it is when you don't have the page marked. I want you to tell them a little bit about your cookbook.
Oh, my cookbook. Well, I made this a long, long time ago, and as you can see, it has been used quite often, and it's got lots of splatters on it. And I used it when I had to make some Christmas cookies for the guys at Ford Motor for my husband to take in. And then there's some recipes in here that my aunt gave me, that applesauce cake and whatever.
Right.
So anyway, I must open this up so you can,
Let's go right over here to where I marked it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here's the recipe.
For the sugar.
It was used over the years. About what age did you start this?
Oh, I guess probably when I started having kids, like 54.
Debbie, my oldest sister, was born in 1954, so Mom started her composition cookbook. So she's used this, well, we used this too. So it's her sugar cookie cutout recipe that we learned how to bake in the little white farmhouse at Buford, where we moved from Loveland out to the farm. And that's where we did a little assembly line and did all these cookies and candies and used a great big, it was a Coke box, probably as big as this cutting board.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, you know, like back in the day at JCPenney, you'd get a big coat and you would get a box.
Actually, I got it from Shillito's.
It was Shillito's. Are they even in business? And it was probably as big as this cutting board and yay tall. And Mom had tissue paper in it, and we were in that little farmhouse kitchen. The stove was behind her, and we had our table, which was that gray Melmot.
Oh, it was that plastic stuff.
Yeah, the plastic with the chrome legs, and it was gray, vinyl covered. You probably have one. I've seen them in green, I've seen them in yellow. And we were over there, and so we had a little assembly line set up. So Mom would roll the dough. She was in charge of that. I might have stars. Debbie might have bells. Not sure Rob was in on that because he was kind of young. But anyway, we had our own thing to do and scoop them up and put them onto the pan. Sometimes we sprinkled them and sometimes we decorated afterwards. So anyway, it was a great memory. Do get the kids in the kitchen because they can learn so much. And have patience with them because they're learning. Let them do. You know, they might crack the egg and the egg yolk bust or whatever, or they dump something wrong. So it's all in fun so that they can learn, because you're going to remember the memory like I have. So that was probably, we moved from that little farmhouse in 1967. So we moved there in 62 and lived there 5 years. So I'm remembering that memory all these many years later. Okay, so you think we can bust this out?
Well, we'll certainly give it a good try, you know.
All right. So I'm going to have you, we got the old mixer, hand mixer. That's what we used in that little farmhouse over there at Buford. And we had an old crock of a bowl that we can use. Got a spatula here, made with love.
I like that spatula.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
My friend Gwen gave that to me. Gwen Quartz. Yep. She gave that to me as a Christmas present, and I just adore it. All right, so we're going to start here, Mom.
Okay.
And we have, as you know, now, Mother, let me show you. She has the ingredients here, and she just knows in her mind how to put those ingredients together. And for a new cook, without somebody helping them, they wouldn't know that. But what I learned over the years also is anytime you have shortening and sugar, you're going to cream them together, okay?
Yeah.
So I think this is soft enough. So you're gonna, 1 stick of butter, 1/2 cup, which equals 1 stick of butter.
You want the whole thing in there, right?
1 stick,
Yeah.
okay? All right.
Yeah.
Um,
You know what I need? I need paper towels.
well, I see that. Patience. There you go.
Thank you.
All right, so she's going to cream that up. Now this is going to get a little noisy, but that's all right. She hasn't used one of these probably for a while. You want your butter softened. You can do it in the microwave, but I prefer just to set it out. Whoa.
Did I slow it down? How do you slow this thing down?
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
maybe-
you know, it just goes
No,
like,
that's going to pop the beaters. Go the other directions. Nope, that's going to pop the beaters.
well, wait a minute.
Forward.
I
Forward
swear
with
I
it. There
did.
you go. There maybe is no slow. Okay.
Got any sugar?
I got sugar.
Is that what you put in next?
Okay, what we put in next is sugar, and it calls for 1 cup of sugar. Okay,
And that's a cup of sugar.
that's a cup of sugar.
What kind of sugar was it?
It was organic sugar. Sugar cane sugar. There's all that good healthy stuff, right?
Yeah.
Sugar's healthy if it's organic. All right, so she's got that pretty well creamed together. Okay, we're going to do 1 egg. I broke it into a bowl, which is going to be a farm egg especially, because sometimes they can get a little funky.
I think the bowl was cold and the butter didn't want to melt.
Okay, so we're going to do the egg.
Yeah. I don't know. Where's the spatula? Oh, right there. Notice I'm using my left hand to use it.
Okay, you can turn the mixer off if you want to, and scrape down the sides. Yep.
Well, that gets rid of the noise, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. That is a little loud mixer. So probably we're not going to use that the next time.
Well, I don't know. I have 2 mixers and I haven't used them in a long time. You know, and sometimes I get the beaters mixed up
Yes.
of which one's which.
Okay, so I'm going to show you what this looks like. It's creamed butter with sugar and 1 egg. Okay. All right, so what's next? So, now I do things just a little different because I just like to. So while she's got the mixer, I have in here a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla and 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. Usually we just do vanilla, but I didn't want to mix it up today. So I'm going to do that so it gets mixed in good. Okay, so blend that. Forward, forward.
I did. Oh. I was trying and it didn't want to do.
Okay, and then I'm going to add 1/4 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You wouldn't think that much salt would make a difference, but that's 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, I'm just doing that. Sometimes you can put it in your dry ingredients, but I just put it in the wet and then I add the flour last. Because I know this is all getting mixed up in the wet ingredients. And that was 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay. You want me to scrape the sides down while you hold the mixer? Would that help you?
Oh, I don't know. I thought I was doing pretty good. But if you think you can do it without getting the spatula hooked into the...
Well, we're going to have a mess here with the flour next, right? It's always a little scary moment because it can go, especially with this. Maybe we should do it by hand. This
Well,
mixer is pretty wild.
Yeah,
There's
it
no
is.
slow motion.
And there's no way to slow it down.
No, that's on low.
Well, that might be better if we mix
think
it by
it would.
hand.
All right.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, now she just cleaned off the beaters. And so I have a funny to tell about that because normally you would hold it down in here and you would turn that on a little bit and it would throw off the excess, right? But as a kid, you want to do this and then you want to lift it up in the air to check, right? And then it's flinging all over the ceiling. True story. True story.
True.
True. But that's part of learning, right?
Yes.
That's part of learning.
Absolutely.
All right, so.
And you learned very well.
Yes, yes. Well, I actually liked being in the kitchen because to me, being in the kitchen felt like it was a science project, an experiment, putting all this together. And I really did like the teamwork, you know. I had my job and I did it very well. I made sure I did. And Debbie had her job and we did it all. And when you get done and there's accomplishment and you have this big box full of candies and cookies that are going down to the guys that worked for my dad at Ford Motor. He was foreman and he took that in. And what did he say to you? He didn't think that would be a good gift?
Well, he wanted to give him fountain pens, cigars, whatever. I said, no, no, no. I wouldn't want to get that for Christmas. I said, I'll just make some cookies and send it down. So that's what I did. And made the biggest box of sugar cookies. And of course the kids helped, you know, put icing in, nonpareils and everything on. He said, they won't eat them. And I even sent paper bags and, you know, in case they had leftovers. So he come home and I said, well, how did the sugar cookies go? And he said, you're not going to believe it. He said, I thought they was going to fight over them. You know, who wanted to get the Christmas tree or who wanted to get the Santa Claus or so on and so forth. So anyway, he didn't come home with any sugar cookies. And the fudge I had, oh my, that went good too.
Yeah.
So, and then the next year, and he was still working, and they said, is your wife going to send them cookies again?
Right, right. You know, one of the things we learned at that time too was the thumbprint cookies.
Oh, yes.
And the first ones Mom ever made that I remembered eating, she had the little red cherries and the green cherry halves on them. In fact, I have the recipe that has it. But then, as years have gone by, people use actually jam or jelly in them.
I use raspberry.
And I love that too. And I like the festivity of the little green half cherry, candied cherries, I guess is what, maraschino cherries?
Yeah, they're candied.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
green and red.
Yeah.
And
All right, so let's go ahead and add a little bit. We won't do all of it. If you have a mixer, you can kind of mix this up with some of it. Or you'll just wind up with a big puff of
are you going to
flour.
put anything else in here?
No, that's it. You're making the dough.
Oh.
There's nothing else. Did I miss anything? Let's double check. So we did 1 3/4 cups of sifted flour, which is what I have in here. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I put that in. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1 stick of butter is what we started with. 1/2 teaspoon vanilla and 1/2 teaspoon of the almond extract. You can use instead 3/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, or you can grate the rind of 1 lemon. I don't know whether you'd use the whole lemon, but some. And vanilla or the almond extract.
Actually, I need a wooden spoon.
And 1 cup of sugar and 1 egg. Is that what we have? 1 cup of sugar and 1 egg.
Yep.
Here you go. And so we're now going to make a dough, as you can imagine, that we'll roll out and do a little cookie cutout.
That spatula is not too good to stir with. We got to put some more flour in here.
Yeah, 1 3/4 cups. All this has to go on in there.
You better put some more in here. Okay, before I wear myself out. You know, this old gray mare ain't what she used to be. I think I done this with my hands
Well, now,
when I was younger.
yes, well, we can get to that if we need to. So my mom was born in 1933. Where at?
I was over in Clermont County, close to New Richmond,
Okay.
and out on a farm. And my oldest sister was there. Well, she wasn't there when the baby came, but my dad brought her in, and he said, "We got something for you," and it was me. And she said, "Oh," she said, "you were so pretty." She said, "You had all this black hair." So,
While you tell your story, I'm going to fire up the oven.
okay. And she said, you know, she was really surprised that she'd been, you know, over at Grandma's. And to come home and there was a real live baby doll to play with.
Now, her sister is Vivian Lindsay, and she is
She'll be 93 January.
February.
No, January.
January,
the
same as
9th.
me. Yeah, and she's doing quite well, although she's
Got that cova.
she did get diagnosed with that, so prayers are
Yeah.
warranted. And she's at Blanchester at home, but doing very well. And of course, we haven't been able to see her for quite some time, a long time, too long. And so the oven goes to 375 once we get these cut out and on the cookie sheet. And I don't see, Mom, where it says on a greased cookie sheet or not. I think probably yes.
Yes, I think so.
I don't see it in there, but that used to be pretty much all commonplace, right? To grease the cookie sheet for cookies.
You know, I can't help it, but this is not.
All right, you want me to work on it?
Yeah. I know when I made it.
Yeah, I might do that here in just a second. Wash up my hands, and
I would have done it. I have to take all
you can't really do meatloaf with a spoon either. We'll get this all crumbly, like sort of like pie dough, and then we'll form it into a nice little flat dough. All right, so let me wash my hands here real quick. Take off my ring.
Yeah.
Roll up my sleeve. I'm going in elbow deep, folks. Well, I can't get that one up elbow deep. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
2 buttons. All right, here we go.
There you go.
Now we're going to get it.
Yeah. That's the way to do it. I think that's the way I did it years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I thought we had a little bit of milk that went in it. Maybe not.
I don't know. Let's look and see. I didn't remember seeing it. Sugar cookies. Sift the flour, measure, and sift with that. Do that. There isn't any milk, but maybe we will need a little bit because it does feel a little dry. Don't
Well,
you think?
know, did you sift your flour? before you
It's sifted
measured
in
it?
the bag when you buy it. It's
Oh.
sifted nowadays.
Well, I think sometimes they ask for it to be sifted before you measure, because for whatever, it makes it lighter.
Okay, so this is where we're at,
Yes.
folks.
Yeah.
So do you think we should add just a little bit of milk, or you think that's too dry? Is it going to hold together?
Oh, well, it'll hold together, but it's pretty dry.
You think we need a little milk?
No.
Do you want it sticky or what?
I don't want it sticky. I just, it just seems so dry.
Don't do it over that, right? Mrs. Ellis always told us you can absolutely ruin your recipe if you do it too much.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just 1 little tablespoon of milk.
375 for light brown.
That's what I got it on.
1 3/4 cups of sifted flour.
Yep.
And you sifted it, right?
No, it was sifted already. I didn't sift
Oh.
it. The bag says all-purpose sifted flour. Okay, so this is now a little sticky, but we're going to roll it out with flour, so I think we'll be okay. You think? Maybe we should have held on to some of that flour for rolling it out. Huh?
I don't know. Is it really sticky?
Well, it's sticking to my hands pretty good.
Oh.
But we're going to get some flour. Right there is the flour. And we've got a little bell, a star, a Christmas tree.
Well,
And if I remember right, growing up on the farm, although Mom didn't know what she did with the original cookie cutters, they looked like this, but I got these somewhere else. We had a Santa Claus, if I remember correctly.
Well, I don't know if they're out in the shed somewhere.
Okay, I'm going to get a spoonful or two over here.
You think that's enough?
Well, I don't know.
I think you want some on the top of it.
This is my favorite rolling pin. I got this at an auction years ago. I just love it. I have a lot of other rolling pins, but for whatever reason I go back to this one all the time.
Yeah. It's a nice little one.
I just love it. I love it. All right, you want to roll that out, Mother? While I wash my hands? Now, while we were baking cookies, I remember also the little farmhouse that we lived in had no insulation in the walls, and you know how old houses are. They don't distribute heat evenly, so it was a little cold even if the oven was going, but we always made hot chocolate.
Wow.
And we made real hot chocolate.
Yes.
With milk and Hershey's, where you added Hershey and sugar and a little salt, I think, is in that recipe.
Yeah.
And later they had Nestle's Quick that came out that made that a little bit simpler process. But we absolutely loved real hot chocolate made on the stove. And you couldn't get it too hot or it formed a skin, and you had to pick that off and pitch that away. But that was a good thing. So I'm going to get a...
You want to put this out of my... Thank you.
Yep, I'll put it out of your way. I'll put the milk up while she does her thing. And get my clothing fixed. And so I'm going to go ahead and spray the pans. I'm going to switch you sides here. Now, I don't know if you've seen, there's many people are doing the cookie
Oh, you should have seen Sharon Kay.
I saw Sharon Kay's on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't know how they work it all out with one oven. That is the key.
Oh,
Because you get it going and you have, like we did this last year, and we were doing thumbprint cookies and sugar cookies, and you just wind up with so many loads waiting to go into the oven. So for Christmas, I want a double oven. Okay.
Well, I think I got that the right.
Okay. We're hoping that it comes up off of there, right?
Well, yeah.
Now, one of the other things you can do. Hold on. Where is my? Oh, there it is. My flour bowl. Did you dunk it? Okay. Sometimes you can do this if you start feeling like it's sticking, you know, after you've done a few. You can do that. Ta-da!
Well, this was a little bit thinner over here.
Okay.
Ta-da!
It still works.
But that one's thicker.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a row of bells and we got a row of stars going on here.
Oh, I didn't stick mine in the flour.
You didn't.
Ah. I always try to make it where we can. Well, that didn't work again.
What?
No.
Oh, I moved mine around like this once. Just a little.
Oh, did you?
And grab it up.
Well,
You probably taught me that at one point in time.
Well,
You just forgot. I got a row of stars and you're working on a row of bells. Did you get it or no?
No. See, it's still.
Okay, so I'm going to do a tree. How about this? And then just move it lightly. Oh, that one's not going to come up. I'm going to have to get a spatula for that.
Yeah, I probably need one too. Because this is not.
Okay.
I thought I
Okay,
had
leave it right
plenty-
there. Go ahead and...
I thought I had plenty of flour.
Okay, it's just not coming up, so we'll have 1, 2, 3. We need 3 to make
Well,
a
I got
row.
1, 2.
Okay, so let me get the spatula.
Okay.
It's probably in the dishwasher, so I need you to move over that way, unless you think you can get them up out of there. Oh, here, this might work. Really well. So, the key also, when you're...
It's thick in some spots and thin in some spots.
Well, and we're just going to talk about that.
Yes.
So, you want kind of a thick cookie. You don't want it to be paper thin like over here. Like that. If you can see that, that's too thin. So, well, I don't know if that's a 1/4 of an inch, but you want a thick cookie.
That worked pretty good.
Yeah, that worked really good. And this one here, I really...
Now, where are you going to put those Christmas trees?
Well, I don't know. We may only get 2 of them on there, right? Which is all I...
Well, I don't know.
Hold on. I pushed that one down so hard I got the handle in it too. Okay, so the Christmas trees are going to go the long ways. Go ahead and set your pan up here where we can see. Here we go.
You want this one up there?
No, I don't want that other one yet.
You want this one?
No, this one. Because I
Okay.
want to try to put my trees over there.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think I put enough
Let's move those over just
flour
slightly.
on that.
The cutter,
Yeah.
the cookie cutter.
No, on the board.
Oh. Well, I don't think they're having a problem.
You know those are going to spread out.
You think they'll swell up?
They will.
Bad?
Well, you know how they looked after we done them.
Well, they look good. Now that cookie dough that you get at the store, it swells up big. I don't think you're really supposed to use it for cookie cutouts like this. You can. So we may open up the oven door, you think, and these are all going to be welded together. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they're
Do you think I have enough room?
they're gonna just try it.
Try it. Nothing ventured, nothing
Nothing
gained.
gained,
That's
that's
right. Well, we'll turn them this way a little bit so that we have a little room.
Okay.
That little star lost his little leg.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna pop these in at 375. For how long was it?
Wasn't very long, 10 or 15
It wasn't.
minutes.
I'll check that out. Right in the middle rack. Okay. And let's see. So that it's in my book, so that you can do this. You find it? I think it's
Well, I thought it was right here in the front.
it isn't. 375. Keep going. Did we have a marker in there, or did we take the marker
Well, I
out?
think it fell out.
Okay.
Well, it was right in the front, wasn't it?
Until golden brown. Not very golden brown. Because
Like,
if you get it too long, if you get them really golden brown on the edges, they're more of a firm cookie anyway. Because back in the day, we dipped cookies in coffee and in milk. And you didn't want to dip it in and have them fall apart and fall down into the bottom of your coffee cup or your milk, which nobody likes that. So these cookies are good for dunking in milk and coffee.
well, that says coffee cake, and that other one said,
I think we're back here a little bit, because no, that wasn't it.
until they're light golden brown.
The next time, once you number these pages.
We're gonna number them.
That's right. Oh, here we are.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so 375 till light brown.
Yeah,
Till light brown. I think it's 6 to 8 minutes.
maybe
So-
10.
Yeah, I always set no matter what it says, if they say something, I set it a little bit ahead of time because ovens vary. And the different kinds of pans that you use can make a difference. So I keep an eye on them till I see how that first batch does. So I'm going to say 6 minutes.
I wanted to tell you, this date nut bar is good too.
Well, we're going to do that one. I have the stuff to do that
Oh,
one.
it says
actually.
very good.
So in her recipe book, whoops, over here, is a date nut bar recipe. Now most people go, ooh, dates. Well, even as a kid, I was like, oh, I don't even know what a date is. But these are delicious.
And you remember that morning when I got up and the oven had gone off? You know, I think I got my date nut bars baked, and then I put the turkey in that oven to go up to Mom's with it, but it didn't, the gas had either run out or something, and the turkey didn't cook.
Oh, no.
So I had to take it up
That's
to
a
my
disaster.
mother's and finish it.
Yes, that's never a good thing, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Like-
Who would have thought?
Right, right. Yes. All right, so we're going to go ahead and roll this out. And we've got another cookie sheet to fill while those are baking. And that's called an assembly line, right? Okay, you want to roll them out?
Well, how about I put a little bit more flour under it?
Well, do that if you want.
You know, so that they don't stick. Well, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Okay.
And while she's doing that, I'm going to plug our little Seasons magazine, which is a local hometown magazine with lots of good stuff in it. I write for them every month, well, 6 times a year, I should say. And this was the Christmas one. And you get to come in the kitchen with Sherry. And we had some good recipes this time. Oh my gosh, for the holidays. You can get this at the Brown County Press, by the way. They're free. You can go up there. You get them delivered in your newspaper.
The News Democrat.
The News Democrat, the Ripley Bee, and the Claremont Sun. This, if you have a subscription, these come free, delivered to your door. So we have some reindeer food. We had the buttery spritz cookies. My little granddaughter, who's now 20, she likes to make this. Simple is her keyword, and it's Taylor's Rolo Pretzel Treats, which is a pretzel, a Rolo, and an M&M on top of that. Pop them in the oven, and they are so cute, and kids love them. Absolutely love them. One year I actually did this recipe, but here's those thumbprint cookies.
That don't come up. I don't care
Yeah,
what
you just don't have the knack for it this time. And then if you want, you can go to my blog, Sherry Mitchell's Farmhouse Journal, and that's where you can follow along more on a daily basis. Or you can go to my website, sherryphillipsmitchell.com, and now we're uploading all of the recipes, and you'll be able to do Pinterest or print. Isn't that cool? My 20-year-old granddaughter is helping me with that. I just don't have time for everything. Yeah. So how are we doing? Let's shake it. Ta-da!
Well, that one worked pretty good. These other ones ain't doing worth a crap.
Look, I don't have any problem at all.
Well, I don't know what you're doing.
I don't either.
I don't know.
Let's
Just
see.
showing your
Watch.
mother up, aren't you?
See?
I did that.
I had a good teacher. Whoops, wait a minute. I better do something. Here we go. Now, this is Pam, but you know we used to have the Crisco can with a, well, you did it with your hand, but I learned to use a piece of paper towel
Now, see,
and do it.
look,
Yeah, now just,
I put that in there and done it again, and now I got 2 of them.
well,
Look at
you are
that.
just out of practice.
Well, something's wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll eat
Now,
that.
see, look at that.
Okay.
How do I get that out of
Well,
there?
I don't know. Usually,
Oh,
like
there
that.
you go.
okay. I heard the bells on Christmas Day.
Alright.
They're old familiar, carols played. And wild and sweet, the words
words
repeat. Peace on earth, goodwill to men.
men.
Yeah. Now, I've always had a wonderful time at Christmas when we all got together before the families got so large and we had to split up. But my sisters and I all learned how to play the piano by insistence of my mother. And that was always one of the best memories because Debbie and Gail and Missy, I can play but not for a group. I get too nervous. They would sit down and rock that piano and we would just sing, 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 sing. And we learned Christmas carols all through the year. And one of the songs that came up on the radio not long ago was My Favorite Things. And I love that song, and Debbie played that, and she and I would sing that like crazy. These are a few of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Yeah, great one.
I don't know about these. This is going to be so flowery.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, I better check just to be sure. Okay. So that was 6 minutes. Yup. And can I get you to move over just a little bit?
I think maybe you probably have to cook them about 10, I would think.
They're just barely brown around the edges. So I really think they could come out.
All right.
Look and see. Well, the little, so don't burn yourself. So the little stars are getting very good brown. They're kind of brown around the edges.
Well,
I think let's go with that.
yeah.
We don't want to get them overcooked because then they are
no.
too hard. Okay, so that was a good 6 minutes. We'll let those set up there and rest while she gets this next pan ready to go. Now I want to take a cookie decorating class.
I think that's pretty. This is thick, but
That's really thick. So make them more like this, because if you get them too thick, you need to be uniform, because like the stars are a little thinner and they want to cook faster than the fatter Christmas trees. Okay.
Okay.
Good?
It feels pretty good to me.
Okay. Now what? Let's do something different. You got 2 stars and 5 bells. No more bells.
Oh, we got the Christmas tree.
And you could do, yeah, let's do Christmas trees. Let's just do Christmas trees.
Well, that almost come loose.
That's good. We can get that. There you go. Okay. Oh, and by the way, those didn't swell up real big, like those sugar cookies. If you buy that roll at the store and you try to make sugar cookies, excuse me, I think on the side of it there might be something you have to do so you can use them. But I tried them one time and they all welded together.
Oh.
It was terrible. Okay. So we're going to have about 2. A Christmas tree and 1 more star is where we're going to wind up with. There we go.
There you go.
1 more star, please.
1 more star.
Can you get a star out of that?
Well, not quite. I think I can now.
Okay. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
My 3-year-old grandson Jackson likes to do that, say that.
Ta-da!
But he doesn't say it quite like that.
Oh.
He knows to say it.
So are we
Right.
going to do this, or are we going to...
No, because that'll be a whole other pan. We'll just eat that.
You'll just eat it.
Yeah. You know, kids like to eat the dough, right?
Oh, I don't eat dough. You know,
What?
I say I
And
don't...
see, that's why your cookbooks get bad when you have them, because when you're running the mixer, things get splattery and your
Oh,
hands get
yeah.
greasy and you touch the page. But anyway, that is a well-worn, well-used cookbook.
A lot of memories.
Yes, lots. And we do have the stuff. I do want to make the date nut. I do want to make that.
Yeah. Oh, that was so good. I
Love
love
it.
them things.
I love it. Okay, so
I think, now you want to throw this away?
yeah, hold on. Just keep it there for a minute. Let me see. So here's what we came out with so far. They're nice and
What do
plump.
they look like on the bottom?
Well, I can't get them off. Can I get in the dishwasher there?
Sure.
Okay.
Let me get out of your way. Oh, God, what's the matter with my knee?
Okay, let's try this one. All right. Ta-da!
Oh, well, that
No,
looks
it's
good.
It's like the song that you get in
Yeah,
your
that
head and you
looks
can't get
good.
rid of. It's ta-da today for me.
I'd say
Isn't that
that's
beautiful?
light
So
brown.
see how nice? It was just lightly brown.
Yeah,
They're fat enough to be good and
yeah.
hearty. And that's I'm gonna have to get the metal. I have
Yeah.
a metal one. I just gotta find it, but you want to be careful that you don't scratch these kind of pans.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll get around. We're gonna go ahead and work on that date nut recipe, and maybe we'll get around to putting some icing on these. Now, beforehand, you could have sprinkled the sugar or the little Christmas decorative balls onto that, and that would have held really nicely. And that's really easy for children, newbies in the kitchen to do. Icing is a lot harder, but like Mom would have put the icing on, we learned, and then she would have put it over, and then we would have sprinkled it. Sometimes we even tried to make it look like we had garland on the tree. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for our sugar cookies for now.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
You're welcome. I loved it. I loved it. Get me back in the mood.